Korean media reveals that T1 made internal plans to part with Gumayusi regardless of their Worlds results, even if he were named Finals MVP, conflicting with an earlier statement from a T1 representative on Gumayusi's departure. Okay, let's see. What's the news? So the news is the headline. Regardless of T1's 2025 Worlds results, even if he were named Finals MVP, the internal decision was already made to part ways at the end of his contract. Even if he were named Finals MVP, what a strange stipulation to put in there. Anyways, this is totally normal. I don't know if you guys know this, but every team that goes to Worlds has a plan about how they're going to do the offseason that is independent of the results of Worlds. So that's for a lot of reasons, but one of the biggest reasons why is because a lot of players enter free agency before Worlds even starts. So the decisions have to be made before they even play at Worlds. I mean, the rumor is that Pays is joining T1, right? Or is that even confirmed, or is it still just a rumor? I'll have to look at the news, but let's just say Pays, right? He didn't make Worlds. So for him, his offseason started 2 or 3 months ago. It started a long time ago, and Gumayusi's offseason starts now. So those decisions get made before. So it could be the player, such as Inspired, right? You could tell before Worlds even started, Inspired is on his last run with FlyQuest. It wouldn't have really mattered if FlyQuest made a miracle run and ended up top 4, right? Maybe it would have changed if they won Worlds, but yeah. Point being, it's independent of the results, and so that's not weird. Anyways, I only read one sentence in, but I just wanted to put my 2 cents in there because I think a lot of people get really confused about that. Why is a team not taking into consideration Worlds results? And it's because you don't as an org and as also as teammates, you don't really want to put all your stock into just the end finishing run. A source familiar with T1 speaking on condition of anonymity with G-Star hinted at Gumayusi Lee Min-hyung's future. As it turned out, his words were accurate. Guma and T1 have ended their time together. On the 17th, T1 announced official social media that Gumayusi's contract had expired and that Doran had signed an extension. Crazy, by the way, that Doran gets an extension and Guma doesn't. But I think it's probably going to be portrayed as an evil team, but you don't really know if it's also what the player wanted as well. Drawing attention even before his official debut as part of T1 Rookies, Lee Min-hyung began regularly in 2021 and steadily improved. He reached the 2021 World Semifinals, finished runner-up in 2022, and was a key figure in 3 straight Worlds titles. Yeah, dude, such an insane run that he had. Dude, this guy started playing basically 4 fucking years ago. 5 years ago, excuse me. So in 5 years of professional play, he won Worlds 3 times, got second place at Worlds once, and then made top 4 at Worlds in his worst ever performance, which was his rookie debut year. Is that not just the most fucking crazy resume possible? Basically, the worst that he could ever be is top 4 at Worlds. And the average is first place. In particular, at Worlds 2025, he proved his level by being named Finals MVP. Okay, Doran debuted 2018. Yeah, okay, don't really care. Sorry to the Doran fans, but I'm trying to read that. In a farewell message on T1 channels, Guma made clear he intends to keep moving forward. I believe the best player belongs at T1, and I spent 7 years here. Since turning pro, my unchanged goal... Okay, so he's played in Tier 1 5 years, but 7 years in total because he probably played rookie as an academy. Since turning pro, my unchanged goal has been to become the best player in the world. With an undefeated title, 3 consecutive world championships, and a finals MVP, I proved I'm the best ADC. I'm grateful to my teammates, the fans, and everyone who was part of T1. As long as there are fans supporting me, I won't stop. Very nice. According to T1 representative, after this year's LoL World Championships concluded, we had many conversations in a positive atmosphere, and both sides agreed to not disclose the detailed process. As a result, as mentioned in the video message, Min-hyung has decided to take on a new challenge, and the organization has also expressed its gratitude for his dedication and support for him. Okay. I'm trying to get a feel for what's the sort of breaking news here. The breaking news is that they decided that regardless of Worlds results, they were going to part ways. Wake up, babe. Your yearly T1 signing drama has arrived. Sure. I think the drama is that they're parting ways. Did they make plans with him or amongst the higher up / coaches? Because that makes a world of difference. Yes, that's true. Okay, here's the thing though. Making plans with him, that's not really a thing. Either he wants to leave or T1 wants him to leave. Like T1's giving him the boot or he wants to leave. It's really rare that like it's like a mutual breakup where it's just like, hey, aren't we both better off if we both walk away? Like there's obviously some level of like animosity one way or the other. I don't believe in this fairy tale world where it's just like two sides and the manager and fucking executives are shaking hands with Guma saying, "Yep, this will be better for both of us." And Guma has a big old smile and he's like, "Yep, you're right." Like there's got to be some hurt feelings one way or the other or negative feelings. It really does remind me of those Twitter breakups where people make those posts about, because like in the interest of privacy, like it's like way simpler and easier to just say we both decided, and it's just like, it's almost never like that. Maybe I'm being really cynical here, but I think it's always like, one person wants a relationship to be over. It's one person breaks up, one person cheats, one person, whatever it is. And then the way it's PR'd out to the fans is like, we mutually agreed upon blah, blah, blah. If he said to them, look, I'm out after Worlds, and they were like, you got it, then all's good. Okay, so basically this guy's saying if Guma decided to leave, then it's all good. But it's redundant. His contract expired. The power dynamic here is that T1 has all of the power to T1 has the power to give him a good contract and re-sign him or not. Guma doesn't have the power in this case because he is a free agent. Like he needs to find a home. He needs to find a team that's willing to give him a job for the pay that he thinks he's worth, right? Like a worthy team, a worthy contract for him. So the dynamic is definitely off. Seems that Faker really wanted Doublelift, so you know what? I think you're onto something. They made these plans even without getting a gauge of what kind of salary he wants or what conditions he's willing to accept or how he performs for them. That would mean they simply wanted him gone, regardless of his skill or contract demands. The way it's worded here sounds like it's a mutual thing, but who fucking knows? Remember the he said, she said tango with Zayas leaving took months to get any semblance of clarity what actually happened. I can't see this going any differently. Yeah? I've been seeing Korean Duolingo in your background. What team wouldn't take Guma? I'm telling you, bro, T1 is so strange. T1 is so strange. Feels the same thing about the Zayas thing. Just this huge back and forth, and in the end, I don't know what to believe. Either T1 lowballed Zayas, or Zayas really wanted to leave. Don't want to read too much into this, but this official T1 video uploaded in September was just weird. It has Pace in the thumbnail when he was still with JDG, which is something T1 has never done for other non-T1 players before.
오, 무한도전? 아지를 쉐긴 진짜 75%인데 25%.
So it's owner playing solo queue with Pace? Yeah, you're reading too much into this. Add in the rumors of T1 contacting Pace as early as October. You can see the writing on the wall. Dude, I think this guy's reading way too much into this. I really think so. That feels like tinfoil hat, but maybe I'm being really naive here. I don't think that the people in charge of making the YouTube content for T1, like the YouTube editors, are in direct communications with like the upper management that is doing this behind the scenes contract work, scouting their next roster for the next year. Like I know a little bit. At the very least, I know the basics about how a fucking esports team is run. And usually the people that edit the YouTube content for these, that would cut the correct videos and do the thumbnails and the titles and stuff, they are not in the loop, right? Like these guys, like they're paid either a salary or they're paid like per video, and they're like definitely not like a main part of like the core of T1, like they don't get fucking emails talking about this like confidential shit behind the scenes. I think it's a coincidence, but maybe, right? Maybe. Fakers editing the YouTube videos, true. Do you think it's two people that both know they're the best of the best and their egos are clashing? Dude, I don't know. Like, I think that T1 is making a huge fucking mistake by letting Guma go. If I was T1, I think they should really do everything possible to keep this core together. Like, because the thing is, Guma's also insanely popular, so his brand value is insane, and he's clearly a world-class player. So unless he's literally giving everyone AIDS behind the scenes, like he is just a monster to work with. He is just insufferable, and he's ruining the team atmosphere, and he's just rampaging. He's just being the most toxic and unlikable person within the team. I just don't really see how they could upgrade past Guma enough to make it worth. No, like Guma is literally the best AD carry results wise in the last few years, and he's super marketable. He's super popular. This team is super popular. I feel like they didn't appreciate the good thing that they had. Guma giving aids to players IRL, breaking news. Pace has a lot of potential, yeah. But I think it's very hard to argue. I think it's really hard to argue that Pace is like a clear upgrade. I think it's like a side grade. I think you're going to get a little bit of side grade, like a lot of side grade, some downgrade, some upgrade. I think it's really fuzzy. Coaching staff clearly didn't like Guma after everything they did this year to him, and at Worlds, Guma and Coma were avoiding each other. Seems something more happened behind the scenes alongside that musical chairs and saying Smash was better earlier this year to decide before Worlds to drop him. Is this a thing? Guma and Coma were avoiding each other at Worlds? How the fuck can you avoid your own coach? You basically do everything with the coach. You do the draft meeting, you do the review with the coach, you talk to the coach before the game starts and after. Huh. It would be tough if there is a lot of tension like that. Shopify Rebellion finishes their roster. Okay, who is it? Fudge contracts Zini, B-Boy, Sayas. No. I thought they were going to make more changes than that. I'm kind of disappointed, but at the same time, it's a solid roster. I think they can make Worlds. I think they could at least be top 3. It's a big upgrade to go from Palafox to Zini. According to Reddit, everyone is saying that Zini looks fucking cracked. He's like the best mid prospect from LCK Challengers. So it was quite a big snipe. He was previously the mid laner for KT Academy. He came in second in the LCK Challenger playoffs. And a lot of our best mid laners are from LCK Challengers. So it's a big upgrade for them. I think they could do really well. You can't take anything on Reddit seriously. Motherfuckers just be making stuff up half the time. I have an open mind. I think it's possible. It's not like I watch every single fucking piece of T1 content. It's definitely possible that Guma and Como were like trying to avoid each other, and just like it was like you could like sense or you could see the tension between them. Like I said, it's the first time I ever heard this, and I'm not going to go back and watch all of that, like, hours and hours of their footage to see, but like it's possible, right? Like I'm not gonna say it's 100% wrong. I just didn't notice it myself. There's like so much fucking footage. I just no way someone's gonna sit there for hours unless you're a huge T1 fan. Why Gumayusi and Zeus left? Understanding the LCK salary cap. This is not a okay. First, let me be clear. This is not a defense of T1's front office for their disrespectful actions after Zeus' departure, nor is an excuse for their failure to adequately protect Gumayusi when he was targeted by toxic fans. The purpose of this post is simply to provide context on the financial reasons why T1 was unable to meet the demands of its key Worlds winning players. Okay, so there was a salary cap in late 2023. However, it's widely known that T1 was the only team to oppose a salary cap, primarily due to the existence of Faker and his massive contract. LSK salary cap rules. The salary cap is set at 4 billion won, around 2.8 million USD. Teams that exceed this limit must pay a luxury tax, which is then distributed to other LSK teams that remain under the cap. Does that exist in regular sports too, right, guys? I'm pretty sure it does. I've heard about NBA salary caps. I don't know if it exists in NFL and MLB and stuff, but it's kind of funny that LSK instituted that in 2023. However, teams can reduce a player's salary impact on the... Okay, so yeah, that is the thing. On the cap through 2 exemptions. Long-term service reduction, which is a 30% reduction for a player who has been with the team for 3 or more years. Performance-based reduction, which is a 50% reduction for a player who meets exceptional performance criteria. However, teams can reduce a player's salary impact on the cap through 2 exemptions. Or wait, no, I already read this. What am I doing? I'm dementia, sorry. If you spend over 200% of the cap, you get a flat tax of 700k USD. What the fuck? Plus 50% of the tax on the remaining on the amount exceeding the 200% mark. Okay. The performance... Oh, if a player meets both conditions, their salary receives a 65% reduction against the cap. The performance-based reduction is difficult to achieve. A player must earn at least 6 points from international titles or 5 points from LCK titles, while also meeting a minimum threshold from both categories. Okay, so everyone on T1 basically meets these categories because they won Worlds so many times. And regionally, they won a lot too. Okay, there's 4 players that do it. Okay, let's keep going. So basically, they introduced a salary cap. This is like the stipulations for the salary cap. Only Faker, Canyon, Chovy, and Ruler are qualified for the like super reduction, which is 65% reduction. And owner Guma Carrier Trio would still need 1 more LCK trophy to qualify. Okay, so T1 situation. He reportedly signed a contract in 2022 with a guaranteed salary of 7 billion won or 5 million USD plus incentives, each applying the maximum 65% reduction. Even applying the maximum 65% reduction, his salary still counts for 1.75 million against the 2.8 million cap. Considering he won another third world championship since that signing, his actual salary could be even higher now. If he signed in 2022, I think his salary wouldn't be much higher. If it is higher, it's not going to be by much, but I doubt that it's higher than it would be in 2022 because that was 2022 was still COVID, right? Chat? Or did it end in 2022? It was 2020 and 2021 for sure. I don't remember if 2022 still had COVID, like lockdown and stuff. But anyways, the viewership was very, very high at the time. So I think that was like peak viewership worldwide. Maybe in LCK, it still grew a little bit afterwards. Let's assume T1 is willing to spend up to the 200% luxury tax threshold, a total payroll of 5.6 million. Yeah. After accounting for Faker's 1.75 million cap hit, T1 would have at most 3.85 million left to pay its other 4 players. Considering loyalty reduction that averages out to less than $1.4 million per player, again, this is calculated on the assumption that Faker's salary was frozen in his contract renewal this year. Exceeding the 200% reduction would not only create severe financial burden, but also make future negotiations impossible. For example, imagine T1 had paid a massive sum to keep Guma this year, pushing them deep into the luxury tax. Next year, when owner and carrier's contracts are up for renewal, T1 would have to negotiate with them from an already strained financial position, making it incredibly difficult to retain them. Furthermore, T1 cannot simply win a bidding war. Wealthy teams like HLE or top LPL orgs can offer more. Even teams like DK, KT, or Nongshim are willing and able to invest heavily in a single star player. Move this over here. A rumor suggested KT was prepared to offer Ruler 1.4 million during his free agency. I don't really understand the math here. Okay, so the salary cap is set at 2.8 million. So how does that end up? Can somebody explain this? Someone smarter than me explain this. How does that end up after the Faker's 1.75 million over the cap? They would have 3.85 million left to pay its other 4 players, which would average to 1.4 million per player. There's 4 other players. If you multiply that by 1.4 million, you get 5.6 million. Oh, I see. So the 5.6 million total is with a 200% luxury tax threshold. So basically what they're saying is double the salary cap. That's their new threshold. That's their new true cap. Okay, I understand. That's the 200% threshold. Okay, I understand now. So that's what T1's willing to spend, and even at that point, it's not sustainable for them. Okay. Can't win a bidding war. T1's priority is clear. Faker comes first, while T1's management... Yep, that much is obvious. While T1's management is certainly responsible for the negative experiences Guma had this year, it's crucial to understand that league regulations made it incredibly difficult for them to buy their way out of the problem. This financial reality is why rumors such as T1 planned to sign Pace to create a rotation with Guma were simply not plausible. Yeah, like them splitting time or whatever would be useless. They pay a tax on everything above 2.8, but they pay an even steeper tax above everything at above 5.6. So they definitely don't want to exceed 5.6, but it's kind of given they'd exceed 2.8 because it's fucking T1. This is a great post. It's very understandable. It looks at the reality of the system, and I do think that every single player on T1 would make more than, you know, this remainder divided by 4. So like 1.4 million per player. I think that the players would make more, definitely. I think if Faker makes 5, it would make sense to me that players like Owner and Carrier would make 2 or 3 million, because they could even probably get equal or better contracts overseas or on different teams. One thing I think about is like T1 is such a desirable team that they don't actually need to give the best contracts, which can like work for and against them. Like there's a premium that you get paid as a player to join a worse team, to join a team that has a less of a winning culture and less of a resume. Like, I think Inspired going to Lion Gaming being a team with very low fans and not a lot of success so far, that comes with a premium price tag on his contract. So he probably, you know, I'm going to guess that he got paid a lot more to go to a worse team than a team like G2 would offer if they did offer Inspired at all. So yeah, I mean, T1 is in that position as well, where it's like, it's really fucking desirable to play alongside Faker and to be on T1. You get a ton of benefits. So you don't also get the fattest bag. Is that why you joined TSM? I joined TSM because I wanted to play with Bjergsen. I didn't really care about how much money I made. Also, at the time, like, player contracts was not really much. Player contracts was not really that much comparative to streaming. So I just knew, like, because like streaming was like probably like 60 or 70% of my income in between like seasons like 1 and 6. I want to say 1 and 7. I didn't really care about my salary. Like, as long as it wasn't insulting, I was generally fine with it. As long as it wasn't lower than Yellow Stars. I don't know. I don't really know who got paid more between the two of us. But again, like, I didn't really care because I made most of my money through streaming. What if they all leave except Faker? Then it would be very difficult to win the next championship. No, it's not, and I'll tell you why. It's very easy for T1 and Faker. T1 being the most popular team in the world, and Faker being the guy that literally every single player in the world wants to play with. It's very easy for them to get another set of world-class players. It's like, at the end of the day, like, it sounds really fucked up, but the least replaceable person is obviously Faker. But like Owner and Carrier and Guma and Doran and Zeus last year, as has been proven, are replaceable. They are absolutely replaceable because there's a magnetic effect to having Faker and the T1 brand and or the management, the coaches, the staff behind the team. There's a magnetic effect that is going to get someone else that is nearly as good. or, you know, possibly better. It's kind of hard to say like better than these guys because they won Worlds 3 times in a row. But yeah, that's why even if Owner, Keria, Doran, and Guma all said, fuck it, I hate playing on this team, I'm out, and it's just Faker, they would still rebuild and be a world-class team. Probably. Like, you know, assuming they don't sign really, really stupidly, I think they would probably still have access to the best players that are free agents. I disagree about Keria. I mean, like, Keria, yeah, I mean, like, I agree. I would also disagree about Owner. I think Owner is irreplaceable as well. Like, but like we're talking about like the cream of the crop. Like which one of the cream of the crop is like the most replaceable? Like I think that obviously Keria and Owner. I would argue that Guma is also fucking irreplaceable. But they replaced him. And you know, last year I would argue that Zeus was irreplaceable and they replaced him. For me, like Zeus was such a huge part of what made T1 good. Like it was just like he was just like part of the identity of the team. This like crazy skilled top laner that can really play everything, super versatile, hard carry player, consistently carrying games at Worlds and gapping the enemy top laner, just like making LPL top laners his bitch. And yeah, like, you know, I could sing his praises forever, but they fucking won without him. So I was wrong. Guma was so clutch. It'll be interesting to see how the next ADC does. Yeah, dude, 100%. I thought the exact same thing about top. Like, Zeus was so sick. Like, I'm such a huge Zeus fanboy. And then watching Doran play, I was just like, I'm not sure. I'm not really 100% on this one, boys. And then, you know, like, I don't know if he, like, proved me wrong. Because I still don't think that he was... I don't think that Doran was, like... that important to their Worlds win. Like he played well, but he was not like that guy, right? Like he wasn't the guy, but it's crazy that he can kind of drop a decent to like just okay performance and still they can